Help me find a place to play. I got this Z and I got nowhere to put it. Oh, hey, we're on the air again. Because it's Wednesday, isn't it, Dylan?
Right, it's Wednesday.
That's right. The last day of September. And this is the DJ Preps Football Preview Show. Brad Locke, Dylan Barnes, and we are here once again to preview three big high school football games coming up this Friday in the Daily Journal coverage area. Excuse me. I've been eating some pizza, Dylan.
Happens.
You know where I got it? Pizza Doctor. Got me the, we got the Mexican pizza today. It's got a kick to it.
Yeah, and jalapenos on it.
Yeah, it does. Love jalapenos. Hope I don't regret this later. But yeah, Pizza Doctor is our sponsor. You can find them at Midtown Point here in Tupelo off South Gloucester. Delicious pizza. The crust, man, the sweet crust is just, that's what really makes it.
All right,
Plus,
I like it.
Plus, they do a great job with the toppings. So, great pizza all around. So, yeah, go check them out. And thanks again to Pizza Doctor for sponsoring the program. Let's, I'm going to start skipping this segment if I don't get any better. Last week's predictions. I went 1-2. Dylan went 2-1. So that makes me 4-8. He's 7-5. I'm falling farther and farther behind Dylan.
Chipping away, man.
Also, you got a really close pick. We used to do this last year. We'd see who had the closest score prediction, and I keep forgetting to do that. You picked West Point over Lafayette 21-18. The score was 21-15.
Pretty close.
Really close.
Pretty close.
So, you're much better at this than I am, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, we want to look at three games coming up this week, and then we'll make predictions on those. I'll try to do better. So let's start with game number one, Calhoun City at East Webster. A couple of 2-2 teams, a division opener, 2-2A for those two teams. And, two teams that are traditionally pretty strong. And so this should be a really evenly matched game. So let's look at the keys to the game. Key number one. Can East Webster contain Jalen Artberry, the running back for Cal City? He's had 305 yards rushing over the last two games. He's really kind of busted out there, and they've got a great run game. Period. They used to run that veer. Now they run more of a spread, I guess it is, but they still run the ball. That's kind of their bread and butter. So East Webster's really going to have to try to contain that. And when East Webster played East Union and beat East Union, they held Colton Plunk to only 166 yards and 2 touchdowns, which for him is kind of an off night.
Yeah, the way he's had the season he's having, that is.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be an interesting matchup right there. And then key number two. Well, can Calhoun City contain Stephen Betts, the quarterback? 3 games. He missed the first with an injury. Last 3 games, he's rushed for 535 yards. They don't throw it a ton, much like Calhoun City, but Betts can run the ball. I don't know, something about guys with the last name Betts.
Yeah, they're pretty good around here.
I don't think he's related to Caden, though.
No, I don't think so.
Probably not. And then key number 3. Will Ron Price hate me if I pick against his team again? Which I did a couple weeks ago when they played East Union, and then they beat them by 3 touchdowns. And so let's go to the predictions. I'll start. And guess what, Ron? I'm picking you. You can't be mad at me anymore. Send me any more texts about how disappointed you are in me. Okay, I'll send you a text about how disappointed I am in you if y'all lose after I picked you. That's how it's. All right, so I'll pick East Webster in a tight one. I'll say 21-19. What you got?
Well, you may gain some ground on me on this game, depending on how it shakes out. Because I think I'm gonna go with Calhoun City. I looked it up a while ago, and Calhoun City's 15-3 all time versus East Webster. East Webster's last win against Calhoun City was in 2009 in the second round of the playoffs. Calhoun City's won 9 straight in this series. So, and what you mentioned, Artberry, he's really good. Thomas Clayton,
Yep.
They've got him there at quarterback, and they line him up everywhere.
Yep.
He's a weapon. So I think I've got Calhoun City, and they're still good defensively. So I've got them 38-13.
Ooh, a blowout. Ron, if you don't have his number, I'll get it to you.
So I've never spoken to Mr. Price, so I don't know.
Game number 2, South Pontotoc at Itawamba AHS. South Pontotoc off to a 3-1 start. Itawamba is 1-2, and this is a division opener for these teams as well. I believe that's 2-4A?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. So, keys to the game. Key number 1, Itawamba needs to keep creating turnovers. They've forced 8 turnovers in 3 games, so that's been a big key for them. Yeah, they're 1-2. They played a fairly tough schedule so far. So if they can do that against South Pontotoc, then I think they've got the talent and athleticism to kind of they could potentially run away with this if they can do something like that in the first half of the game. So conversely, South Pontotoc needs to make sure it really takes care of the ball, which it can do because it can run it. They can run the ball pretty well. Just hold on to it. Key number 2, which South Pontotoc defense will show up? In their 3 wins, they've allowed a grand total of 20 points. The one loss came to North Pontotoc, gave up 34, and that's a pretty good North Pontotoc offense. So you feel North Pontotoc's the best team they played so far.
Yes.
Itawamba will be probably right about that level, I would guess. And then key number 3, I didn't make a funny key for this one. I just couldn't think of one. So I'll just go with ground control to Major Tom. South Pontotoc has 4 guys who can run the ball.
Right.
And you wrote something about one of them, Chase Long, I think, a few weeks ago.
He had 4 touchdowns in the season opener against Aberdeen. All of them were pretty. He's a bulkier, stockier kid, so he's a lot of them were short distance goal line types of works or whatever. But they've got body styles like him. They've got other cats that can go off and break a 50, 60 yarder too. So they're pretty well rounded on their run and attack. So
okay, prediction time. You go first, Dylan.
I think you kind of mentioned why I'm leaning this way. That one loss kind of just sticks out to me with North Pontotoc. North Pontotoc's a pretty decent ball club, and I think they won 34-0. So when I look at Itawamba, I think they're pretty comparable to North Pontotoc, and so I will give some love to South Pontotoc's ground game. I think they'll score this game, but I've got to score 35-14 Itawamba.
Okay, I also will pick Itawamba, and my score prediction is going to be, I'll say 28-17.
Okay.
There we go. We agree on that. All right, then game number 3, Tupelo at Olive Branch. This is a Division I 6A game. Tupelo off to a tough start, 1-3, 0-1 in division. Olive Branch 4-0, 1-0 in division. And Tupelo coming off a tough, close loss to Hernando last week, and they've got some guys out with injuries and all that. Keys to the game, key number 1, I think, is that Tupelo defense, minus outside linebacker Dalton Hughes, who was out for the year, versus the triple option that the Olive Branch is running. And it's led, by the way, by Ty Walton, the former East Union quarterback, whose dad is now an assistant coach at Olive Branch. Olive Branch is averaging 313 rushing yards per game. Tupelo is allowing 184.5 rushing yards per game. So not the most favorable matchup for the Golden Wave right there, especially with a guy like Hughes out who can really help secure the edge. Key number 2, will Jake Ware get on track? The Tupelo quarterback, he's just only completed 47% of his passes for 648 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 picks. No picks the last 2 games, but I think he's still trying to adjust to not having those 2 D1 receivers, although Corbin Huggins has really impressed me, and Katie Gibson as well has had some nice plays, but they just can't get anything going consistently in the passing department. And then key number 3, will Kevin Walton take another job before kickoff?
That ain't right.
I'm sorry, Kevin. Nothing but love for you, buddy. But East Union, East Webster, Itawamba, Olive Branch in the span of about 3 months. It's football. It's the football coaching life. It's nomadic.
Hey, it's worked out for him though.
Yeah, exactly. And Ty's
at a really good spot right now.
Yeah, he's doing a great job at a 6A school. So just picking on you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Prediction time. You go. Wait, it's my turn.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to say Olive Branch in this one. I'll say 35-16.
I'm taking Olive Branch too. I think they're undefeated. They beat Corinth. They beat a couple good Holmes County. I think it's the other team they've beaten the season opener. They beat some good teams, and Tupelo's just kind of just struggling right now, and they're still trying to find their footing. So I went Olive Branch 28-21. I think with that triple option and what Tupelo likes to do, I think it's gonna stay kind of close and kind of low scoring for a high school game.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's did I make my prediction?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not in it today.
The jalapenos got him.
It's the
knocked off.
jalapenos just got me all. So good. Okay, let's do the Double Trouble Award, or whatever we want to call it. Thought about calling it the Double Shot Award, but probably can't do that on a high school show. This one goes to C.J. Hill and A.I. Nugent. CJ and AI.
Yeah.
Of New Albany in a 31-10 win versus Amory. They're both running backs. Hill had 134 yards and 2 touchdowns on 21 carries. Nugent, 127 yards on 13 carries. That's 9 yards a carry.
Yeah.
And that ground attack was dynamite as New Albany pulled off a huge win over our number 1 ranked small school. And so Hill and Nugent, I figured that could be a pretty deadly duo.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I felt like those two names, when we found out Nugent was back at New Albany and stuff, we probably, with this award, you knew that at some point this season they were going to be on it probably at some point. So.
Exactly. And so that's it for this episode of the DJ Preps Football Preview Show. Again, thank you to Pizza Doctor for sponsoring the program. Check them out in Tupelo at Midtown Point on South Gloucester. And also be sure to check out our podcast every Wednesday, Prep Rally. You can find it in iTunes, any of your podcast apps, or online at preprally.djournal.com. We're going to go tape that here in a few minutes. Follow us on Twitter at djournalpreps and look for our football coverage this weekend. And I hope you get out to a game. I'll be at a game. Will be at a game?
Yes.
Don't stop it yet. Don't.
Pretty good. Pretty accurate.